Despite all the worries about COVID and various lockdowns, my wife and I felt we really needed a holiday. And so instead of going to Lanzarote, which was unfortunately cancelled, we decided that we'd take another trip to Center Parcs in Woburn. And this video will talk you through it. As you can see, we've arrived at the car park. It's an accessible space. There was some work going on in the part of the entrance to the hotel, but they put down some rubber mats and that was very useful. And this is the front entrance to the Lakeside Hotel. We stayed in a single apartment just for a couple of adults. Once we got past reception, there were quite a lot of heavy doors and quite a bit of a stroll to the accessible room. I should point out in time of COVID as well that masks were compulsory in all the public areas of the hotel. And here you can see we're still going towards the hotel. But once we got there, we found that the room was very, very spacious, as you'll see in a minute. I should also say that not all the lifts were working. That was a bit understandable, I guess, given that there are people that aren't also working as well. Inside the room, you can see it's a very big room, just for one couple. The kitchen units here were at a good height. It was well laid out. There's very spacious in the room. Really was really surprised by the size of the room. There you go. There's another picture of the kitchen units. So and you can get to the sink. The beds, there were a couple of beds, single beds, and an accessible toilet. The single bed that I used had an adjustable height and sitting position, which I found quite useful. Outside there was a balcony big enough for two. And inside there was this magic door button, which, as you can see here, I'm demonstrating how you use it. So I just pushed up to there, and even with a stick in my mouth, I was able to open the door myself and get through. Also, something that I quite like, the doors were fairly wide, no scratching the sides of them. So that's the hotel room. And there you go, and the door will close automatically and lock, which is very good. Once outside, we went towards the subtropical swimming paradise. There you go. We didn't go in this time. We have done before, and it really is clean in there. Again, masks had to be worn. Also, you had to book everything that you wanted to do before you got there, and you had to book it online, which I found was quite okay, actually. It helped us structure the few days that we were there, from the Monday to Friday. First night, I didn't eat too well, as you saw there. A bit of a chunky dinner, some chips at the Lakeside, and now we're at the Pancake House. Again, this was the following day. I didn't have those two meals in the same day, you'll be pleased to know. I felt like I did, by the way. The Pancake House, inside, the tables were socially distanced. There was waiter service. Really enjoyed it. It was really nice to go there. Fantastic. And I should say again that the staff were really helpful. There was my healthy option, a bit of a pancake with some ice cream. There was plenty of outdoor space to enjoy safely. People were socially distancing, which was good. There was this falconry event, which we saw the birds tethered to whatever they get tethered to. It wasn't something that I seemed that happy about, really. This is the Plaza, where a lot of the activities were taking place and included the sports hall. Just outside the Plaza was a Starbucks, which had socially distanced queuing, and once inside, the tables were well spaced. Some of them were not being used either. The Plaza itself is adjoining to the hotel, so you can go from the hotel to the Plaza without getting wet. Inside the Plaza, everything was signposted, separate entrance and exit, automatic doors, and basically all throughout Woburn Center Parcs it was a keep left policy, so that was quite useful. Again, masks were compulsory, and everyone was adhering to that quite well. Here you can see some of the activities in the sports hall, and we booked this. We booked an event here, and the event we booked to go and do, which is one of our favourites, which is a bit of pottery painting. Inside the tables, again, socially distanced. We'd had to book this online before we took our holiday. Here we are going up to the table. I can't fault the staff enough at Woburn Center Parcs. Absolutely wonderful. Here I am doing a different type of painting to the stuff that I usually do. Fortunately, I didn't have to make the pumpkin myself, but just had to glaze it. And you have to paint it 3 times before glazing. Give it 3 different coats. That was the finished article pre-glazing. Another wonderful thing about the Plaza is that there's a changing places facility in there. This is the second time we've been there. There you can see the changing shower bed. I showed you the toilet. And there was also an electronic hoist. This was a bit more modern than the one on the Brighton video that we showed. There's the hoist, very easy to use. Of course, as with anywhere, you have to bring your own sling. That's just the way it is, so quite good. I hope you like my camera zoom there. Look at that, practicing new things. More outdoors experience. There's a lake there, and you'll see some activity around there a bit later. Sadly, we weren't allowed to feed the ducks this time, but I thought I'd give you a shot of them just to try and show that they were there and just to practice my camera work again. Loved it, had a really good day. Our final night, we had a meal at Las Iguanas in the Plaza. Unfortunately, the lift wasn't working, but there was a step-free route to get into the restaurant, and again, all the tables were socially distanced. And this final shot is of some electronic boating that you can do on the lake. I wasn't sure if there was an accessible boat or not. That's for next time. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please can you like, share and subscribe. I'll close by saying that I found Woburn very accessible, and the thing that most impressed me was how helpful the staff were. Everywhere you went, they were there to help and offer advice on what you could and couldn't do. Thoroughly recommended. Until the next time, bye for now.